Good morning. In Political Science class 12th, I am continuing the chapter The US Hegemony. And in the previous lecture, I had told you about the meaning of hegemony, which I hope you remember. That is the supremacy, leadership, bossiness, influence, impact of a country over other countries. And such country is developed much ahead of other countries politically, economically, militarily, culturally, etc. This we can say that US hegemony clearly, as we know, started after the disintegration of Soviet Union. When the world was divided into two blocks led by two superpowers, and those two superpowers against each other, rivals of each other, not believing in each other's ideology, way of functioning of the government, economic system, giving liberty to the people. So they were just opposite to each other. And both of them wanted to show their power by influencing the countries nearby, or having the same or having belief in the same ideology and guiding them, controlling them, utilizing their resources, etc. But in USSR, the dissatisfaction among the people of USSR itself and in the people of other countries, especially of Eastern Europe, which were under the umbrella of USSR. So the dissatisfaction was going on, and ultimately it broke down, disintegrated, and they all were declared independence, including the republics of USSR and other countries who were having communist system in their countries under the supremacy of USSR. And then when no one power is, or you can say when one part vanished, so the other superpower remained solely. Only one superpower remained. So then no opposition or no rival or no other equally powerful country exists. So that became hegemon, or whole soul most powerful country. But here I would like to tell you, though we say that it started after the Soviet Union got disintegrated in 1991, but we can see the impact of US hegemony before that also over other countries. Here I would like to tell this incident which took place in 1990. And what happened here in Kuwait was invaded by Iraq, or Iraq annexed its territory or power and captured Kuwait. The reason mainly was to have control over the oil fields and other natural resources. And in a way, it was not liked by these advanced countries, especially the US. And many attempts took place to convince Iraq to withdraw its troops from Kuwait. But all the attempts failed. Then you know about UNO, United Nations Organization, which is there to settle the international dispute. So when nobody could convince Iraq to withdraw its troops from Kuwait, then the decision was taken collectively in the UNO to force Iraq to withdraw from Kuwait, or a military action would be taken. So it was made mandatory to withdraw the troops from Kuwait. And for that, collective forces, were sent to take military action against Iraq in Kuwait. And the collective forces comprised of the forces of 34 countries, in which there were 6,60,000 troops, were there. And obviously the result was the defeat of Iraq. Now, what is the result of this war? And that is very important to know about. First thing is, after a long time, UN gave this order or decision to take collective action against a country. And this operation, by UN, not US, UN, is known as Operation Desert Storm. Remember this. The action against Iraq related to Kuwait, which was taken by collective forces of United Nations, was given the name as Operation Desert Storm. And this was led by the American General Norman Schwarzkopf. And in this collective forces, 75% of forces were Americans, and remaining 25 forces were of other 33 countries. So here we can say that America, when we say America, we mean US. Although we know that America is the continent, North America, South America. But here in common way, when we say America, so we mean the United States of America. So there should be no such confusion. So this Operation Desert Storm is also known as First Gulf War, because this war took place in the Gulf area. And it showed that actually the US militarily is so advanced, much ahead of other countries. First, because of the contribution of military forces, and the other, the technological advancement, the type of bombs which were smart bombs, operated automatically, they were used by American forces. And another thing, live telecast of this Gulf War was going on, and people could see the actual war going on in their homes, in their drawing rooms, through TV. And that is also called video game war. So in this way we see that military hegemony, and in other words it is called hard power. Military supremacy is known as hard power. So that was on the side of US. So the result was this, that US gained more profit than it had spent on this war, and in return it took much more amount from the countries like Germany, Japan and Saudi Arabia in the form of money. And that was much more than what? The amount that was spent by the US. So this is one example of showing the hegemony in military field. That was shown with the help of this first Gulf War, which took place in 1967.